Hi, everyone. I'm Madison Gunn. I am an attorney at Absolute Trust Counsel, and I'm here to welcome you to Absolute Trust Talk. As you can tell, I am not Kirsten Howe, our normal, glorious host. She has allowed me to guest host today, and I am here and very excited to host this episode. I have Carmen Perry with me of Veterans Home Care or VetAssist, one of the divisions. And if anyone who's ever heard of veterans aid and attendance benefits may understand that it's a bit of a mystery. They might have heard of it, but they probably don't know exactly what it is. Is it compensation or pension? Do you even know what those two things are? I certainly didn't. What does that mean? Who qualifies? How do you qualify? Even more difficult is finding someone who can help you with those ins and outs of the VA or Veterans Administration. And that brings me to our guest, Carmen. Carmen Perry has more than 20 years of hands-on experience in the senior care industry. She began her career by working with physicians in private practice, which afforded her the opportunity to get to know patients on a personal level. After leaving private practice, Carmen spent time working for both Kindred Healthcare and Windsor Healthcare. Both companies are nationally known for their multiple levels of care centers that include hospitals, subacute units, transitional care, and skilled nursing facilities. Answering a call to work more closely with seniors, Carmen joined ResCare Home Care, where her team helps seniors stay at home, or as we like to say, age in place. Carmen joined the Veterans Home Care team in 2012, developing strong ties within her community, helping to provide additional services for our veterans and surviving spouses of veterans through this aid and attendance benefit. With her vast understanding of elder care and the financial challenges of long-term care, Carmen quickly rose from the ranks of regional manager to vice president. Carmen is based in California and focuses on national corporate home care agencies with multiple franchises and branches and takes on company-wide growth initiatives. Welcome, Carmen. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Madison, for having me.
Yeah, and Carmen's also a part of the National Aging in Place Council. What's your title on the national board, Carmen?
Oh,
Or
yeah.
just a
I
board
actually
member?
I'm a board member. I joined the board. I have the pleasure of serving on the board for the year 2022. Looking
Yeah.
forward to doing great things there.
Yes, very excited. Carmen, I want to talk about the basics first, the baby steps of Veterans Administration aid and attendance and what VetAssist does for its clients. I understand that there's a 3-phase qualification to become eligible for aid and attendance. Can you tell me about that?
Sure. So we really try to simplify the qualifying factors for aid and attendance because when anyone ever hears about a benefit through the VA, the first question is who qualifies. And we really want to make it easy to understand, easy to digest, not just for agencies trying to find help, but for clients who are trying to find help. So we call them the 3 M's: military service, medical need, and their money situation. For military service, we're looking for active duty during a war period. War periods vary anywhere from World War II, the Korean conflict, and Vietnam War. Also, most currently the Persian Gulf. Medical need, we're really looking for anyone that needs assistance with 2 to 3 ADLs. We call activities of daily living, meal preparation, light housekeeping, personal care even. And then for their financial situation, we really need to take a financial overview of their income and their assets.
Great, thank you. And how does VetAssist specifically help those clients qualify for aid and attendance?
Sure. So within those qualifications, we're going to help them determine their eligibility by taking a look at discharge papers to determine if they had honorable discharge from their active duty service. Secondly, we're going to take a look at their medical need, reach out to their physicians, and get the VA form that's needed for the application completed on their behalf. And then finally, we actually assist them with a funding source for home care so that they can qualify for the maximum benefit available to them, whether they be a single veteran, a married veteran, or surviving spouse of a veteran.
That's great. I know personally experienced that with a family member that the VA wants you to be able to show that you cannot pay for that care. And that's where that funding gap comes in. Is that right?
Absolutely. I mean, there's a difference between aid and attendance, the aid and attendance benefit, a pension, and maybe an income pension. Aid and attendance is a medical reimbursement. Income pension would be something you would consider like retirement. Military retirement's an income pension. Service-connected disability, that's an income pension. Aid and attendance is a medical reimbursement pension. So in order to get it, you've got to demonstrate you're spending it out of pocket. Not a lot of our veterans and seniors surviving spouses can afford to do that. And really, that's where the VetAssist program comes in. We provide that funding source to help them qualify.
I like that. I've never heard it called a medical reimbursement. I think that makes it clear, much clearer.
Oh, thank you.
Much clearer. I like that. I'm going to use that forever now.
Cool.
And I guess in terms of getting those discharge paperwork, is that something that you help? Because I believe you want everyone's DD-214. Is that correct? And
that's correct.
Do you help people get that if they don't have immediate access to it? Or is that something that they...
We do. So we have, we've been in business here at the VetAssist program. We've been in business for 19 years. And in our 19 years, we've, been able to determine really the best way to support our clients through this complicated process. And one of them is taking maybe that off of their plate and reaching out to the National Record Center and getting that DD-214 on their behalf. So we do assist with that process for them. Absolutely.
That's great. Good. I think sometimes little things like that are the biggest stumbling blocks for people. So I think that, especially if someone's doing it for a parent and it's not, that parent might be like, yeah, I have that, but where?
I have no idea where it is.
Yeah.
I am really proud of one of the services that we provide here, that support of getting somebody from that point they call us to the finish line. We have such a strong tenured support team that really holds the hand, walks them step by step through it so that they never really feel alone or lost in it. Most of the time we're getting a call from somebody, and anyone in the home care industry will tell you this, by the time you get that call, they're in crisis mode.
Right.
They're not calling before they needed help. By the time they call you, they needed help yesterday, not 6 months from now. And so really having that support team that helps guide them through this process, they need that support. They have a million things going on. They're being, given tons of information, especially if there's an acute stay involved, and they're, dealing with discharge planners and, home health, and they don't know which way's up. So we really do want to provide that support through those crisis periods and get everybody the help that they so desperately need.
Yeah, that's great. And then speaking of caregiving, given the difficulty in finding caregivers, particularly, I think there was difficulty finding caregivers prior to COVID, but now it's just a wasteland of trying to find anybody who's working. So how is VetAssist working to get their clients the care that they need, given that caregivers are so hard to find? Even for caregiving agencies, they're having trouble finding employees.
Absolutely. I think that's a challenge that's kind of arisen mostly from the pandemic, but even post that, I don't see that changing too much in the future. We're always going to have a high need of care and a low caregivers to provide that need. So what we have come up with here at the VetAssist program is our Smart Companion system, which is a system that it's a medical alert system, a personal emergency response system that has like the intelligence and the entertainment of an Alexa built in. We actually give this system included in our program to our clients so that they'll have the ability to have voice-activated video calls or voice-activated calls with their family, their friends, their home care providers, their personal or their primary care physicians. It's got military grade encryption, so they can actually communicate with anyone in their care team through the system. And it's allowed, like I said, us to get eyes on our clients even when we're unable to have a caregiver there. We know that they can contact emergency services immediately should they need it, but they can also contact their care team and hold those visits to make sure that they're staying safely within their home.
That's awesome. And my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that you also coordinate the caregivers themselves. So you have this personal companion device, but then you also coordinate the care that your clients might need.
We're able to use the system in combination with limited essential visits so that they get that constant care and that they're never really alone.
Yeah, that's excellent. And I believe you've told me before, but it's already set up before it gets to the senior. Is that right?
Yes, that's which I think is really cool. We pre-program these systems. So when anyone places an order for the system, we pre-program it with their family, their friends, their home care provider, whoever they want. Actually, we pre-program it because they get the system, all they have to do is plug it in. They don't have to register it. They don't have to figure out how to enter their family's numbers or coordinate it through some app. All they have to do is plug it in. And I can attest to this personally. My mom actually has the system, and she was going to wait till my brother could help her plug it in. I said, no, Mom, you got to plug it in. I tell everybody how easy it is. You have to set a good example. So she plugged it in and then called me from the system. She's like,
Oh,
I figured it out. So it's very easy. It's so nice that it comes pre-programmed because they don't have to worry about anything. They plug it in and start using it.
that's so cool. And I believe you said also that you can set it up so that it checks on your senior every day. Is that right?
Yes. So that's actually a really cool proprietary software piece that we added to this called Voice Health. And it has a customized question segment that it does with the clients each morning. And the cool thing is it can be customized and it can be updated. So say, someone has a fall, they come home and we want to make sure, they're recovering well from their surgery. We can ask specific questions to, identify any decline they may have infection concerns. We can customize those quick little questions. Sorry. We can identify those questions and they will populate a portal. Why can I not talk right now, Madison? Anyway, they occupy a portal that will notify anybody on the care team, so the discharge planners, the social workers, the primary care physicians, and let them know what's going on with that client. And it's just a quick check-in. It takes maybe, 20, 30 seconds, but it's able to check in and make sure that they're staying safe.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, it's good for falls. It's good for people who are diabetic. Did you eat today? Did you, or what did you eat today? Or however it is set up. I think that's great. It's a third party nag that they can't get mad at their kids if it's a device that's nagging at them. I think that's great.
So true. And it's really easy to engage. I think that's probably for me the coolest part is that it's just so simple. Like if you can talk, you can use this system.
Yeah. So. That's so great. Oh, I want one to check on me every morning.
I love it.
My Alexa doesn't check on me. She just tells me that Amazon showed up. It's not as exciting. Or the dogs do, which you might hear whining in the background. Everything sounds great. That VetAssist sounds wonderful. Are there any other benefits that you want to highlight that VetAssist offers to your clients?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think, one of the exclusive parts of our program that I'm also very proud of is that, once somebody does get through the VA system and gets entitled to the aid and attendance benefit, the VetAssist program doesn't stop working. Like we actually have a unique client services team that will help them maintain compliance with this pension for the ongoing life of the pension. So our goal is not only just to help them access as much as they can as quickly as possible. Our goal is to help them maintain it and keep it for the rest of their lives. And I think that's another unique piece of the VetAssist program.
That's great. Do they have to yearly re-up, kind of like with Medi-Cal and things like that?
The VA does have compliance monitoring checks, additional documentation requests. They have stuff that they ask for ongoing, and we actually take all of that off of our clients' plate. We do it for them as long as they're our clients. So,
That's
it's
awesome.
not annual. I think it's kind of spot checked annual. Not regularly, but it's spot checked randomly. That's the word I was looking for.
There you go.
Randomly.
I was gonna say, depending on funding for the VA and their staffing levels and all of that. I know. Yeah, that's bureaucracy at its finest. Carmen, what do listeners need to do to get started with VetAssist if they think that they might be eligible for benefits like this?
Sure. So we have a few easy ways that you can contact us. Most easy and fast that everyone knows is our website, which is veteranshomecare.com. There's an eligibility checklist on the website. Also in the top right-hand corner, there's a referral button you can select and go straight in there and enter your information. And it goes to our enrollment team that will reach out to you within 24 to 48 hours. Our enrollment team is amazing. They know what they're doing. They're going to ask you really good questions to make sure you qualify. If you qualify or if you don't, we will take good care of you and make sure that with any information we have, you get any of the assistance you need.
That's great. Thank you. So I do have a couple questions that were sent in advance, people who were excited for this topic. And hopefully you can answer them, but we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
Just because some of them might be numbered.
I love a hot seat, Madison.
I know. Some of them are numbers. So, I wouldn't blame anybody for not knowing that.
Okay.
The first one is, what is the average aid and attendance pension benefit or the max? And then also, what is the maximum?
So that's actually a very good question. I think people want to know, I'm going to go through all this work. What am I going to get at the end of this?
Right.
And I'm going to give you some general numbers because I don't have the exact ones right in front of my face right now, which, oops. But a surviving spouse is going to get around $1,300 a month that they can use through our program towards home care. A single veteran is going to get around $2,000 a month. And a married veteran is going to get around $2,300 a month. And these are estimates, but they're pretty close. So,
okay, great, perfect. And then, what type of home care does VetAssist? When you say home care, can you specify home care, home health care, and what the difference might be?
That is such a great question. I'm glad you asked it. There is a significant difference between home care and home health. So home health is a benefit that's going to be provided by a skilled or licensed provider. So you're talking about RNs, physical therapy. I was about to start using acronyms, PTOT, physical therapy, occupational therapy. That's home health. Home health is typically billed through a medical insurance, through Medicare, through a Medicare Advantage plan. Insurance is going to cover home health. There's very few cases where it's private pay. Usually it's typically like a wound care situation, but that's usually covered by your insurance. Home health is considered non-skilled. It's provided by a caregiver, and it's not going to be covered by any medical insurance. You're going to be paying privately for that unless you have a long-term care plan. Some insurances will have an elimination period, but the benefits are typically pretty limited as well. It could be covered through the VA, through aid and attendance, or the homemaker benefit. Or it's coming out of your pocket. So those are basically the three major ways you're going to be covering the cost of home health. Home health is going to be, home care. Home care is going to be that personal care, hygiene, assistance with dressing. It's going to be meal preparation. It's going to be light housekeeping. It's going to be transportation. That's home health. Or home care.
Home care. I know. I think that's one of the reasons why it's so confusing is because it's very similar. And VetAssist does, in terms of, I know one of the other big scary things about home care is that, you don't want to just hire your neighbor for cash. So I assume that VetAssist assists with all that proper payroll and liability things that people might be worried about.
No, that's a good point. Home care, we actually contract with home care agencies nationwide to provide that quality in home care. We want to make sure that whoever's going in these homes to provide care to our veterans and surviving spouses are safe and it's a legal process, because each state has different qualifications and different legislation surrounding the home care business to keep our seniors safe. So we make sure we comply with those in every state and make sure that that caregiver is qualified and legally allowed to be there.
That's great. Not to mention labor laws, because that's always a fun, hot topic with senior facilities and home care.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, that is so great. I'm so glad that you were my guest today, Carmen. I think that you provide a great service for our veterans and their surviving spouses. And I hope that everyone listening is able to go to veteranshomecare.com and see if you're eligible, and why not get some assistance if you need it. It's there for you. The government's got the money there for you, and Veterans Home Care will help you with that. So thank you so much, Carmen. I really appreciate you coming today.
Thanks for having me, Madison. It's always good to see you.
Yes, good to see you too.
Thank you for joining us today for another episode of Absolute Trust Talk Live. If you enjoyed listening in, then don't forget to subscribe. You can find us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you may listen by searching Absolute Trust Talk. While you're there, we would also love for you to leave us a review. And then why not share your favorite episodes with family, friends, or colleagues too? You can find all of our shows and corresponding show notes by visiting absolutetrustcouncil.com. You'll also find a variety of other free resources, including our ebooks, videos, blogs, presentations, and more. If you need help with your estate planning or administration, we also offer a free discovery call to help get the process started. You can find more information on booking your session by visiting absolutetrustcouncil.com/scheduling. Don't forget to keep an eye out for our next live episode in 2 weeks. If you join us for the broadcast, you can submit questions during the show. But if not, don't worry. You can always get in touch with us by sending a quick message to info@absolutetrustcouncil.com. Thanks again for listening. We'll see you soon.